So this right here is where this parts prelude is at. So all the interior is ripped out of this car. The dash as well. So basically what's going on here is this is my parts prelude. Those doors and stuff are going to be getting transferred to this car. These are the seats and all that, and just, hoods and extra parts. This is the prelude that is going to be getting a bunch of race stuff done to it. So these doors here are going to be going on this car, and the interior is already all ripped out of this car as well. This harness, the harness going up to the headlights were screwed. This guy had toggle switches turning his headlights on, and it was kind of a fire hazard, so made it the right way. Then we have a sunroof too. Didn't have a sunroof before. The recent talks with the guy I had before. Of course, he had the grease and things too. Well, I'm decided if I want to put those in yet. But then this is the harness here. That's the driver's side harness. This is the passenger side harness here. As you can see, these things here. This is what was all screwed. He mangled this harness and had to be redone. So this is the other harness that was in the car. That's the frame style. This was what he had all hooked up. It was pretty, yeah. So that is all ripped out. And see how this is from here. Okay, so I'll show you where this came out. That came out of here. So you had to trace it all the way back, all the way to the front here. Same with this one here. You need to pull it out of here. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but that way the car will be safe. But yeah, this car, it's going to be getting skunk 2 intake manifold, which is that beauty right there. This is the motor that has 0 compression and cylinder 4. So 1, 2, 3, that'd be that cylinder there. These Hondas, they go, if you're looking at like a Ford Focus, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, but because it's a Honda, they go the opposite way. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this could have either a burnt valve causing 0 compression, or because it leaked oil, it didn't knock, but the compression on 4 was 0. This motor was about 170, 180 compression, and this is the motor that's going to be getting the skunk 2 intake manifold. We got headers that are going on it. There's exhaust at the back. It's getting new timing belt, new tensioner, new front crankshaft seal, new rear main seal, as well as new flywheel, new clutch and pressure plate. It's gonna be a pretty quick car. So long road ahead, but I think it's gonna be worth it. So pulled these 2 motors and finally kind of got the wiring dealt with and dealing with the rad support, and rad support's actually over here from the parts car. It's already off. That's it right there. And that's the carpet that's gonna be going in the car. Just parts. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna have that on there. Forgive me, I was up all night. So this is what the car will be getting. I already got the excited clutch, I already got the flywheel there, and the timing kit, and crank seal, and new oil pump if I want to put it on. This is actually a really nice oil pump. Crank seal right there. So, and then these are all the parts that are going to be going back on the car. I like to keep my stuff organized, and so I have all my bolts with the parts, and any bolts that I take off I can put them back on. That's my little trick. That's just what I was taught over the years. This is a triangle here. If you don't know how a standard works, this basically is just a roll bearing right here. So let's see if it's light. Your clutch slave cylinder presses on here, and so when you press the clutch in your car, it moves this forward, which that part that's moving right there, right here, is called your throw bearing, and that's what presses on. Give me a sec here. So this thing here, get a little light. That bearing right there presses on heavily here. Presses on these splines right here. As you see, there's a wire mark there. Presses on these splines, which then moves your clutch away from your flywheel. Because this is your flywheel here, and then the clutch plates, or the clutch disc is underneath here. So in a sense, what's happening is when you press your clutch pedal, this bearing comes out, it pushes, moves back and forth. As you can see, my hand's moving this back and forth. That's what your slave does. It presses out. Your slave cylinder presses out, which presses this out, which then this presses on your pressure plate, which then will release your clutch from your flywheel. So that's just a little bit of knowledge if you didn't know how that works. So I have the new throw bearing for it. But that, when you're pressing your clutch, that's what's going on inside. What else am I going to show you? So I can show you this. Like both cars are ripped down to this point where the knuckles are off. This one had a bad wheel bearing, so rather than replacing the wheel bearing, I'm just going to change the knuckle. This one has a nice smooth sounding hubs, so that's kind of where it's at right now. But stay tuned, and I guess you'll get to see what transpires, because eventually this thing's gonna have this mortar in here, and this valve cover is gonna be all cleaned up and everything, and the dual overhead cam VTEC's gonna be painted white, and that's gonna be going on this motor. It's gonna be going in this car. Yes, I know it's confusing. I confuse myself sometimes too, because there's a prelude right here, and then there's a prelude right here, exact same thing. But at least I have something that I can go off of, right? Bang. So I'll take parts off that, put it on this car. Parts on that, put it on this car. But that's where I got it at, basically. So right now, I will post more videos. I'm going to be doing the timing belt, and I'm going to be showing how to do the timing belt and how to hold your cams. As well as I'm probably going to be posting some videos of when the engine goes back in. I got videos of when the engine is coming out. So I'm going to keep doing this kind of stuff, and learning as I go. I've been working on Hondas for quite a long time, probably doing mechanics for about 15 years, and eventually that engine there will be in there. Just gotta have faith.